Hey everybody, so I know this is going to be super late compared to everyone else's, but I finally got my copy of Metaphor. It is obviously the PS5 version. I ordered this from Video Games Plus as soon as the pre-orders came out because I didn't want to miss out, and I think you could still get it, so with me, it's FOMO. So I usually have pretty good, I don't know if you say luck, but in the past, like everything I've ordered from Video Games Plus seems to come on time. This was super delayed. Today is Wednesday morning. I got this last night on Tuesday. So the game came out last Friday. So it's like 5 days late. So yeah, kind of a bummer because I wanted to start right away. Reason I'm filming right now is because I want to open it and I want to start playing the game more. The other thing I want to do in this video, besides just open the unboxing, because anyone that's interested has probably already watched at least one or two other people unbox it, right? But I want to talk about the demo because I actually played the demo for this. As soon as I could download that. I never play demos for games because I just am like, I don't want to start something and then not, pick it up right away. Because then I would have, if I wait like a year, whatever it is, I would forget what I'm doing. I have to start over. So I just don't do demos as just a general rule of thumb. But I was so looking forward to this game. It was my most hyped game of the year. I was just like all about it ever since the very first trailer came out, before it even had the name Metaphor Refantazio. So I did the demo and I got a lot to say that I'm sure I'll forget to say most of it. Anyways, before I get going, one more thing about the delivery. I don't know how well it's going to show up. Oh, you can kind of see it. The cellophane on the outer wrapping on this is ripped pretty significantly. There's a good chunk of it. Now, I don't really mind because I'm about to take it off. So that doesn't really bother me. But if somebody was collecting this and they wanted to leave it sealed, this would be like, on top of being like 4 or 5 days late, this would be like super frustrating. So I don't know if that was Video Game Plus's fault or something happened in transit, but it was packaged pretty well. It was in a box and it had wrapping around it. Some of that thick parchment paper, so it was well protected. So I don't know if it was ripped before it was even put in the box. I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to point that out. I still love Video Games Plus. I still do a ton of shopping on there, but this was like kind of a loss in my opinion. Anyways, enough rambling because nobody cares about any of that. We're gonna just open this up now. So yeah, the demo to me was, not to kill the anticipation, was everything I would hope it would be. It was just so good on so many different levels. I should say, like, I'm a huge Atlas fan. I think they're one of my favorite, they are one of my favorite publishers, especially for RPGs. Their games are just amazing. I love them. So as hyped as I was also kind of nervous because if this game didn't live up to the hype, it would have just been like a huge downer. Like, I was really looking forward to Soul Hackers 2, and it wasn't a terrible game by any means, but I think it definitely wasn't on the same caliber as the Persona or SMT 5 that came out. It seemed like it was definitely a much game that they produced much more on a budget and not as much time or energy, or some of their more talented creators were involved in it. It just was kind of lackluster. I did really enjoy some of the characters. I thought Ringo was an awesome... Oh, hold on one second. Sorry, guys. Ringo was an excellent protagonist, but the game as a whole just kind of meh. So this one I was just super nervous about, but after, I played the demo all the way through. I actually tried to find more things to do before I ended the demo because I didn't want it to end. That's how much I liked it. So pretty standard slipcover. I love the art on this side, and then it's just got all like the general information I think they have to include on the outside. I did already know because I watched the unboxing from people because I couldn't wait for my copy. But it's designed to look like the book that the protagonist has. That is a fantasy type thing about a world of peace. I think it's supposed to be humans. I have theories on what is actually going on in the game, even after the demo. I don't know how much I want to get into that because I'm probably super wrong. But this is supposed to be a replica of the book that he carries around that he reads from time to time. Okay, as soon as you open it up, there's stuff in here. I'm going to just look real quick what it is. It's a DLC pack. It's got a code on it. And then a sticker sheet, which Oh man, I just dropped everything out. I don't know if I will use these because I don't want to ruin them. But the stickers are super high quality. I don't know. I've seen them in trailers, but like this cat dude or bunny dude, I don't know. I guess a bunny dude, and this chick. I don't know who they are, but these three I already have in the party. That I will say I really enjoy all the characters so far. Even the protagonist, having him have more voice lines, more involvement. I love that. I don't really care as much as I love Atlas games and the Legend of Zelda games. The silent protagonist is like, I'd rather have a protagonist that has a personality. I'm not playing a video game to pretend I'm the protagonist. I play me in real life. I want to play somebody else. So the fact that he has more of a distinct personality on his own, I really, really like. It was great. All the voice acting in the game was great. Man, this is, okay, so here's the art book that comes in it. I knew it came with it. The art in it is awesome. Very high quality pages and prints. The only thing, and I've said this before with special editions, I want a hardcover book. I don't like these, more like flimsy books. I'd rather it even costs however much more to do it. If you have to raise the price of the special edition $10 to put a hardcover on it, do that. That's what I want. So here's the actual game. I'm gonna I'll just open it now because I'm gonna play it as soon as I'm done filming. But yeah, the voice acting was great. The combat, I love turn-based combat. It's my favorite type of RPG. That's what Atlas has down. I wasn't really worried about that not working, but what I was kind of nervous about was the fact that you can do action style combat to either get into combat or to take out easier enemies that you've already fought, that you've leveled past. And I will say it came out awesome. And that is one thing from Soul Hackers that I did enjoy too, is that you can hit enemies to get into them. That's pretty fluid. This takes it up another notch where if you sneak up on them and you hit them, you can actually stun them as you go into the turn base, so you get an advantage that way. Beautiful idea. And even taking out the easier enemies that you've already beaten, you still get a little bit of like experience points or resources or whatever, which is fine. But I think the big advantage to it is instead of like bogging you down with constant turn-based combat, when they're easier enemies in any RPG, you kind of just get bored with those fights because it's just like taking up time when you're trying to get to the next objective. This works perfectly because it doesn't slow you down. You just hit them and you keep going. I loved it. I only did like 2 real dungeons in the demo, and one of them's fairly short. And the other one I ended partway through because we couldn't keep playing. But just being able to burn through those enemies and keep going, it's a beautiful combat system. It's really fluid, and it's such a huge improvement. So anyways, love that artwork. Everyone's seen that artwork. It's great. There's another DLC download thing in here, but I think the code's on the back so I can show it. Pretty standard. It has a very strong plasticky smell. Normally I don't care about smells, but that is strong. Awesome art. Steelbook. I love steelbooks, and so it's got really good art here on the front. And the back is pretty basic, but I actually like that because some of the steelbooks where the back is just as interesting as the front, I have a really hard time because I can't display both sides. So I'm kind of glad this is easier to display. And then here's a scene from towards the end of the demo. Very good, good scene. I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, so far the story is amazing. I love it. Everything about it, guys. It was fantastic. So here's another issue I have with the special edition here, is the soundtrack is just in this cardboard box. I hate that when they do that in collector's editions. Just give me a jewel case where it has a spine, because I don't know, you probably can't see it, but I have a shelf over here with all my soundtracks on it. And these, when I shove them in, you have to pull them out to see what they are. I love the jewel cases where you can actually read the spine. I don't know how much cheaper this is. I'm sure it's cheaper, that's why they did it. But I really don't like that. And I think the last thing here, right? Am I right? Oh, there's two more things. Okay. We'll go through this first because this is funny. So everyone was talking about these. It's a little, I'll show you the box. It just says the name on it. But it's little pins, and they are like pewter. They're like heavy, and they're actual metal. But it's like these little teeth enemies that you fight. It was so random the first time I ran into one. I guess I don't remember them from the trailer, because the first time I ran into it in the game, I started laughing a little bit. Because for the most part, the enemies in the game are like practical RPG enemies. Like you run into wolves or, you know, stuff like that. Or like creatures in the when you're in the cave, like that. I don't know. They just look like normal monsters that you would fight. And then you run into these little things. And it's just like, is that a tooth? Like before you read the name of them, it's like, you're looking, it's like, is that a giant tooth that you're about to fight? And yeah. And they're not difficult by any means, but it's just very random. And I don't know why they chose to include these in the set, but yeah, there we go. I think they are actual like pins you can put on something. Let me see if I can get this out here without jacking it all up. Yeah, the back is just like the actual backs of pins. I don't know what you would do with these. Are you somebody gonna wear one of these on like their backpack or something? I don't know. It just seems weird. Random. I don't mind it. It's a cool thing. It's definitely unique, but very random. Maybe they have more significance in the game as you go on. I don't know. And the last thing, this one I'm actually pretty hyped about, because I've seen it before in other people's, but I love when they give you maps for collector's editions. I love having maps. To me, it's a way to like look back, you know, sometime later on and remember the game and be like, oh, I remember going here, there. I display a lot of them actually up in the game room. And this one too, I'm going to get a frame and put it up. I do want to try to flatten it out a little bit, but this is a very nice colored map. It is not cloth, I don't think. It's just like that. I don't even know what material it is. Let me see if I can find it real fast. It probably doesn't even say what it's made of. Oh, just polyester. Pure polyester. But it is very nice. And I think if I can get it flattened out without ruining it, it's going to be an awesome piece to put up in the game room. Yeah, very happy about this one. But anyways, guys, overall, it's not a bad collector's edition. It was, if I remember correctly, I think it's like $150. Now, for $150, are you getting your value? We'll say the game is $70, so we'll just take that off. We're working with $80 here. $80 for like this map, which is very cool, but I don't know how much monetary value you could assign to it on its own. You get a soundtrack, which is great. I don't even know how many songs are on here because, once again, it doesn't have it listed on the back of a jewel case, which it belongs in. Steelbook, which is awesome. Always, this is another, I think, practical thing to give in collector's editions. Now, most people like them, and it's a cool display piece, especially when they actually give you, like, the real game. So this isn't actually the case you have to keep the game in. These little weird teeth pens, which is interesting. It's funny, but once again, value. And then the art book would be great if it wasn't this, if it was a hard book, hardcover. I just really love hardcover books. I feel like it makes it feel so much more valuable and durable too. I don't like that these can get damaged as easy. This is cool. There's no real writing in here about like the characters or development. It's just a pure art book. Once again, I don't know how much value you can assign to all that and the sticker sheet. I don't know if the 2 DLC download codes are unique to the collector's edition. I'm sure at least one of them is. But for $80, I think it's more so just for, like, the mega fans of Atlas, of the RPG stuff, or hardcore video game collectors. If you're just kind of curious about the game and you want to check out Atlas stuff, I would just recommend buying the standard edition game. That for sure is going to be worth the cost. I can tell you that after playing the demo for only 6 hours. It's going to be an amazing game. But for a collector's edition, I'll even admit, as much as I'm hyped for this game, this is just kind of like a mid-tier collector's edition. It is what it is. I'm not going to lie and pretend that it's something amazing. It's cool stuff. I'm excited to have it. I'm not going to get rid of it. But it's not like the most amazing collector's edition ever. That being said, as far as a game, you know, for me, anyone that's like curious about if they should pick it up or give it a shot, it hit every check mark I wanted it to hit. I thought the art style was great. People were complaining about it. It's Atlas. They're not going for like Final Fantasy levels of graphics. It's a very specific like anime art style. The cutscenes in it are amazing. They were so good. I could just watch the cutscenes. It's a movie. Voice acting was phenomenal again. Only 6 hours in, so I've only met a few characters. The combat was exactly what I wanted it to be, and like I said before, all the improvements with the action style to get into combat is great. It doesn't, so far I should say, it's not as rewarding as like the Persona with like the weakness system. You can extend your turns by hitting weaknesses, but it's not like as satisfying to like knock down enemies and do all that. Maybe there is more to it as the game develops. Like I said, I only played the demo, but I had no complaints with the combat. I was having a super fun time with that. I didn't want it to end. But lastly, to me, what I really think is the most interesting is the story so far with this game, guys. It was just so, they spent so much time and effort. You could tell the developers and the writers created a history and a lore to this world before they made the game or during the making of it, because there's so much going on with the different races, with the like kind of tension between them, you know, with the world around what's going on. There's like, it just seems like there's so much, and I think that kind of care and attention really shows how much they love what they're doing and how much they care about the experience that gamers are having going into this world. They did as much as possible to make it fully fleshed out and make it as interesting of an experience for gamers as possible. Now, I understand that everyone's into RPGs. It is definitely a tough genre to get into if it's not already something that appeals to you. But I highly recommend, if you are on the fence at all, give this one a shot. Even if you just download the demo, just do that and see if you like it. It's free. You're not spending any money. I think that'll be enough to sell you. And the one criticism I have, which maybe isn't even a real criticism, and might actually be something nice for people new to the genre or new to Atlas RPGs, it was a little easy. I never struggled with any of the fights, even like the boss fight. The first human that you run into was like super easy. Now, I did not do the optional boss fight that it's already been out, I'm going to say. You can fight the dragon in the cave. I didn't know that. Somebody was like, oh, we got to sneak around him. So I just snuck around him. I didn't know that you could actually go and fight him and beat him. So I didn't do that fight. So I don't know if that one's harder or not. I'm sure it is, but it's definitely not too difficult of a game for people that are new to this series that are trying to get into it. Or not series, I should just say Atlas RPGs, because this is a brand new game in its own series. So we'll see how that goes. But not too hard so far. And I really feel like that's going to carry on. If the game was going to be overly difficult in terms of combat, I think that would have shown itself already. But anyways, I don't want to ramble more, because probably nobody's watching it this late in the video anyways. But guys, highly recommend Metaphor Refantazio. It's going to be an awesome game, I can tell. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for checking out this video. I will see you on the next one. Have a good day.